welcome to a midweek moment with me, Pastor Beth, at Gray Memorial United Methodist Church in Tallahassee, Florida. This is when I hop onto Facebook for just a couple of minutes to offer you something that I hope you find encouraging or affirming or useful. And if you do, I invite you to share it because maybe you have a friend who would also find it encouraging or affirming or useful. We're sitting here at the very beginning of the year, and it's a time of year when a lot of us make resolutions. We actually did something in worship on Sunday called Star Words because we were celebrating Epiphany. And so each person who wanted to got a word that will carry them through the year. And it's meant to be a reminder that God is always trying to communicate with us because, the star that the wise men followed, the star was God communicating with the wise men, with the world, really, that Jesus was born. And so we're going to carry our stars through the year, and that'll be a reminder to us that God is communicating with us. That can be one way that you begin this year, by thinking about a word that represents something for you about what God is saying to you right now. But maybe you're not sure what God is saying to you. So I want to give you some ideas, some suggestions for how you might draw closer to God in this coming year. A lot of people try to read through their Bible in a year. And I have sort of an unpopular opinion in that I don't think that's the best way to draw close to God. And that's based mainly on my own personal experience, where when I've tried to do that, it really becomes a chore. It becomes something I mark off on my to-do list rather than really being meaningful time for me, where I'm really spending time in Scripture with a posture of curiosity and a posture of open-heartedness, with open ears to hear what God is saying to me. So that is not going to be on my suggestion list. But if you think that it works for you, then I would say, go ahead. More power to you. I hope that it is more meaningful to you than it has been to me. But some of the things that you can do, and you can even think of this as like a New Year's resolution, that you're going to resolve to do one or two or three of these things this year in 2022. You can commit to being in worship each week, whether that's in person or it's catching up with us online here. We live stream our services every Sunday at 11 o'clock. So being with a community of folks in worship can really help you draw closer to God. It can help make you more aware of what God is saying to you. Another thing that you can do is to engage in intentional devotional time. So for some folks, the best thing to do is to start the day with 5 or 10 or 15 minutes of prayer time where you're talking and listening, but also where you're maybe reading a few lines from a devotional book. If you want some suggestions about devotional books, let me put my contact information up here, because you can just send me an email and I will make a suggestion for you. We've got lots of resources for that, including the Upper Room Daily Devotionals, which we make available free of charge here at the church. So being in worship or being intentional about your daily devotional time or your daily scripture reading time, those are really great things to do. You can become part of a Bible study. If you're up for an in-person Bible study, we have one here at the church every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. And we also have one that meets only by Zoom, and it meets on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. So you could participate in one of those things. Or maybe you could come and be part of our choir, right? That meets once during the week for about an hour, and then they sing together on Sunday mornings. Or maybe you can find some other way to be part of a small group, right? Maybe choir isn't your thing, and maybe the Bible studies that we have here wouldn't quite be your thing, but you can find a small group or create a small group where you're gathering with people you can really build relationship with, and together you can encourage each other to be listening for all the ways that God is reaching out to communicate with you. Another way that you can do this is to be intentional about looking for opportunities for ways you can be in service to others. We're doing that here by intentionally reaching out to the schools around us to provide lunch for the teachers. You could certainly join us in that effort, or you could do your own thing, right? We're going to be launching a basketball ministry here where we're putting up a brand new basketball goal in the next couple of weeks. It's a really great goal. And we just want people from the neighborhood to be able to gather here and play basketball together, right? Maybe there's something like that right in your neighborhood that you can participate in. Or you can find there are lots and lots of ministry opportunities, lots and lots of service opportunities all around. And once you open your eyes to them, you really start to see them. And then the last thing that you can do is you can choose to pray for someone every day. It doesn't I'm not saying it should be the same person or that it has to be the same person. It could be, but pick someone and set a timer on your phone and spend 5 minutes praying for them, for what you know their needs are, for what you know that they're really missing out on, or maybe you know that they're hurting, or you know that they're struggling with something. Just set a timer on your phone and every day pray for somebody. If you can't do 5 minutes, do 3 minutes, right? Whatever amount of time you can devote to that. I promise you, doing any of these things or any combination of these things really has the potential to draw you closer to God. And that then when we do that, we feel more like ourselves, right? When we're more connected with God, we feel more like ourselves, and we feel stronger, and we feel more emotionally healthy, and all of those things that really actually encourage us then to continue to draw closer to God. So I hope that you'll find some of those suggestions meaningful. Like I said at the beginning, maybe share this with your friends on Facebook or with your friends on social media, because maybe somebody there will find it meaningful too. Here's our contact information. You can send the church an email. It'll get to me, or you can give us a call. If there's any way that I can be helpful or useful to you, I would really love to do that. Of course, you're welcome to join us in worship this Sunday at 11 o'clock in person, wearing masks, or right here on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're seeing this message. We would really love to have you as part of our worshiping community. I hope that you have a really wonderful day and that your 2022 turns out to be your best year ever.